Welcome back, children. So we'll see biotechnological application in medicine. And here you want to remember the recombinant DNA technology has made an immense impact in the area of healthcare and medicine, and it has helped by mass production of safe and effective therapeutic drugs. That is, we are getting very effective therapeutic drugs through biotechnology, and also inducing unwanted, it is not inducing unwanted immunological responses which normally occur when the drugs or medicines are isolated from non-human sources. So in that way, biotechnological medicine is far better. Why? It is not at all creating a unwanted immunological responses which normally will come across when the drugs or medicines are isolated from the non-human sources. Is that clear, children? So here normally at present there are more than 30 therapeutic drugs are produced by recombinant DNA technology. How many? 30 therapeutic drugs are produced by recombinant DNA technology, and that have been approved for human use for the world ever. Even all those 30 also has they received the approval. Of these, 12 are presently being marketed in India. Okay, out of 30, 12 are being marketed in India also. So in this we are going to see a detailed account of the insulin, human insulin. So we'll call it as human insulin or humulin. Okay, human insulin or humulin. So actually, what is insulin, children? What is insulin? We'll see. Okay, what is insulin? We'll see. I think this slide is clear. So biotechnology in medicines, diagnose and treat different diseases with effective recombinant therapeutic drugs. That is only recombinant DNA technology. Protect from dangerous disease. Through gene therapy, a new healthy genes can be inserted and replace the damaged cells. Okay, it can be introduced the new cells and can replace damaged cells. And targeted actions of drug by through a study of genomics. And recombinant therapeutics do not induce any unwanted immunological responses. That is very important. Okay, and as I told, 30 is there, and out of 12 is in our market. It is available in our market. And first we'll see the detailed account of the insulin. So normally, now look at the slide. Deficiency of insulin causes diabetes, which can be controlled by taking insulin at regular interval. We know all the stories, no? Beta cells of islets of Langerhans cells of pancreas started to produce two cells, alpha and beta. Alpha will form glucagon, beta will form insulin. Insulin will help to reduce the sugar level in blood. Meanwhile, glucagon will increase the sugar level in blood. Is that clear, children? Suppose if sometime insulin was not at all synthesized properly or not secreted properly, means what will happen? The blood glucose level will increase. So that is only we'll call it as increasing sugar level in blood. So we can call that person as a sugar patient. Is that clear? So in that case, what we want to do? Either we should activate the cells or gland to secrete more insulin. For that only we are suggesting to go for so many health exercise, breathing exercise, walking, doing so many exercise. The cells will get more oxygen, the cells will get activated, and they started to do their work. If you are not doing any physical work, or if you are not exposed to any this kind of physical work, means automatically all the cells which is present in our body won't get proper oxygen, and they started to lose its activity. So we should give work to the organ, thereby the organ will do work. That is in one part of the health issue. And come to that, suppose if the person is failed to synthesize insulin in their body, what is the other choice? The person should take the human insulin in a regular interval. Okay, regular interval. So how they are taking human insulin? In the form of injection only. Sometimes doctors will give tablets to reduce the sugar level also. So we'll see how insulin were given to the patients and how the insulin were produced. That is only our part that we are going to see in detail. Now look at the second point. Traditionally, when human insulin were not available insulin of animals, that is slaughtered and cattle pigs. First, no, now only we are using the human insulin, humulin. Okay, but before that we used to take insulin from two animals. Okay, slaughtered cattle and pigs. From these two animals only they took insulin, but it was given to the patients, but the patients in sugar level were reduced, but they started to show some allergic conditions. Okay, they started to have some allergic symptoms because of that, because no, these animals, they are not having the human genome, it is the other foreign only, but they should adapt. No, they should adapt, and they should not create any allergic creations, and sometime you will get these kind of problems, and they start because of foreign insulin, and it is not that much effective. And afterwards they thought bacteria were genetically engineered, produce human insulin in a large quantities of bacteria can easily grown in culture medium. So after that they thought better we can take cells from the isolates of Langerhans, and they can produce insulin using bacterium as a medium. And with that, how we learned in the previous chapter, no, with bioreactor or with the other method, we can increase the number of protein like insulin, and will do purifying process like downstreaming process, and will get our desired protein like insulin. Okay, and desired products like insulin will get. So like that, now scientists, they tried in the human cells, and how it was engineered and who did in which year, everything we want to see in detail. So first it was created in 1983 by one biotechnology company called Eli Lilly. Okay, biotechnology company called Eli Lilly. Is that clear? In which date you want to write? No, you write July 5, 1983. Okay, July 5, 1983. Foreign company, Eli Lilly, American company, they were first introduced the insulin hormone. Okay, what is the role of insulin hormone? To regulate blood sugar level and administrated in patient with diabetes. Okay, those who don't, those body, they can't able to secrete a normal insulin level, so we are giving insulin to the patients. Which patient? Diabetes patient. Okay, and that patient will get rid of, not, they'll not we can't able to cure the disease. Okay, there is no cure, but we can able to maintain blood sugar level here. Okay, that is the concept. Okay, now we want to learn about how the structure of insulin will be, and how we can able to produce in laboratory. That is the thing we are going to see. Before moving to that, we want to know the structure of the insulin. Okay, structure of the insulin. So imagine, so here you want to remember two concepts, children: pro-insulin and mature insulin. Pro-insulin and mature insulin. Pro-insulin means it is inactive stage. Insulin, it is in the inactive stage. And second one, mature insulin, it will be in the active stage. Now mature insulin has two short polypeptide chain, that is chain A and chain B, which are linked by disulfide bridges. Is that clear, children? So mature insulin, it has two polypeptide chain. Here it is a protein now, so we should not call it as polynucleotide. If it is a DNA, we can call it as polynucleotide, and here it is a protein. So how can we call that? Peptides. So many peptides. So peptides, peptones. Okay, that is your proteins only. So many peptides, they all link together with a disulfide bond. So we can call it as polypeptide. So what do you mean by poly? Many. Peptides means all the nitrogen amino acids rich bond, peptones. So polypeptides means many protein. So here one alpha chain will, one A chain, one B chain, and no C chain at all. And A and B were linked by two sulfur compounds. So we can call it as alpha A chain and B chain are linked by disulfide bond. It is in matured insulin. It will, we can able to see in mature. This is the structure of the mature insulin, children. So here the second picture. Okay, first picture is the pro-insulin. Second picture, no, second picture is only your insulin. So this is pro-insulin. This is insulin. Okay, this is insulin. So here this is one type. This is A peptide, okay, and second one B peptide. This is A peptide, this is B peptide, and this is A and B were linked by 2 sulfur, so we can call it as disulfide bond. And here one is there, no, that is free C peptide. Matured insulin that doesn't contain any C peptide, but pro-insulin a C peptide will be there. But pro-insulin is an inactive condition. Pro-insulin is an inactive condition. So here one peptide, here one peptide, here one peptide. So we can call A, B, C. The blue is not blue. Blue is A. Okay, I'll erase and show you, then you can be able to follow clearly. We'll use red. So this ash color is what? This ash color is what? C. This ash color is C peptide. This blue color is what? This blue color we can call it as the A peptide, and the green we can call it as B peptide. This is A, this is B. So blue is A, green is B. Here also A and B, and here we can see C. Is that clear, children? So here it was down. Here it was given in a opposite manner. Upper side B, lower side A. So A chain, B chain. So now you want to remember the first pro-insulin structure. Here blue color is alpha, not alpha, A chain. Green color is the B chain. A and B were linked by C in pro-insulin. Is that clear? But in mature insulin, A and B were linked by sulfur bond, and the peptide bond was left as free. Peptide bond was left as free. So that is the structural difference between pro-insulin and insulin. So pro-insulin we can see C peptide bond, whereas in mature insulin we can't able to see the C peptide bond. Is that clear? So I'll explain the content and we'll get into the point. So mature insulin has 2 short polypeptide chains A and B, which were linked by 2 disulfide bonds. Is that clear? And here you want to write one sequence. A means how many amino acids it will contain. A will contain 21. A will contain 21. B will contain 30. So here which is lengthy? B is lengthy. B is lengthy. So A chain will contain 21 amino acids, whereas B will contain 30 amino acids. Here we are telling polypeptide means they are in the peptone form only. They are in the form of amino acids or peptone form only. So A chain will contain 21 amino acids, whereas B chain will contain 30 amino acids. And third one is the C polypeptide chain. And what is the role of C? It is, we can call it as linker polypeptide. It is simply to connect A and B polypeptides. What is C? It is a linker polypeptide. It is what is the role? It will link the A and B polypeptide, just to link, that's all. And here A and B polypeptide both also we can call it as homodimer. So we can tell C peptide will join both the homodimer, and after the maturity it will released as free, and these two was binded. Furthermore, it was binded with the sulfur bonds. Is that clear, children? So A is 21, B is 20. And insulin is synthesized as a prohormone in all mammals, like A peptide, B peptide, additional C peptide, and it is absent in mature insulin as it get removed during maturation. That is only we saw in the picture. And now look at that. Using recombinant DNA technology, 2 DNA sequences corresponding chains A and B of human insulin introduced into plasmids of Escherichia coli and produce insulin chain separately. Here it will be interesting. So they are getting A chain separately, B chain separately, and they are growing separately. At last they are again combined by disulfide bonds, and that is only your human insulin. So how they are going to do, that is only we are going to see in that next slide. So this structure you are clear, children. So this will be interesting to see how the genetic engineering will take place in the human insulin, humulin. Okay, you want to remember humulin because we are taking from the human cell even. It is not in the case like what we learned earlier, no, cattle and pig we used to take, that will create some allergic, so we didn't use nowadays. Nowadays we are not using that. Before we used, but nowadays we are not using. Now we are using only humulin, which we are taking cells from the human. Now imagine, now this is green color, no? This green color is a synthetic DNA encoding for B chain, and synthetic DNA encoding for A chain is red color. So we know A is a 21, B is a 30 amino acids. Now A chain was separately, it was taken from the cells, and B chain also taken, and both also introduced into the vectors, okay, plasmid. And now the plasmid is carrying B chain separately, A chain separately, and afterwards it was transferred into Escherichia coli. Now that this is only transformant cells. Now Escherichia coli is framing a human insulin protein. So this condition we can call it as heterologous host. What we learned in first chapter, no? So what is heterologous host? Now this Escherichia coli is started to form what protein? Human protein, human insulin. So we can call this Escherichia coli as heterologous host. Now it started to form the B chain polypeptide and also A chain polypeptide, and this has the binding factor. And automatically when we add some chemicals, so add inducers, okay, that we can call it simply, it was given as inducers only, and these inducers will help to make join the two peptides also. That's the thing, will get disulfide bond and will get a mature insulin. So here it was very lengthy, green color. Why? It is 30 amino acid. B chain is 30, A is 21. So it is very shorter when compared to this one. So 21 amino acid, 30 amino acids, and it was further linked by SS bond. After adding SS bond, it will behave as a mature insulin. Now this mature insulin were used, okay, for the human beings to treat diabetes, Is that clear, children? Now that's all about the genetically engineered insulin. Okay, it was introduced in Eli Lilly, American company, 1983, July 5, and alpha separately, A separately, B separately, and they were linked using the inducer, and afterwards it is ready for the future use. This is the genetically engineered insulin to treat the diabetes. Now I think you are clear with that. You wait. Next I will send a video for gene therapy.